Good morning, dear students. Welcome to your economics class. Well, students, this video is on a very important concept from your first chapter, that is Introduction to Microeconomics. The topic is Production Possibility Frontier. Well, students, in our last class, we have discussed that most of the economic problems arise because of three important reasons. The first being the demands of the people are unlimited. The wants of the people are unlimited. We can never satisfy people. Okay, so the human nature is like that. You can never satisfy human beings. And then students, the second reason is that the resources to satisfy these wants of the people are very much limited. The resources are in fact scarce. And students, the third reason is the resources are not only limited or scarce, but these resources have alternative uses. That means one resource can be put to various other uses. So students, in such a situation, what a society will do? A society will have to make a choice, will have to decide between which goods to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce, etc. etc. So students, a society is left with a decision to make a choice regarding how to use these resources to produce different goods and services. So students, what the society or the people does, the society allocates these resources, allocate meaning utilizes or put these resources into various uses in the production of various goods and services in such a way that they can derive maximum satisfaction. Because students, at the end, what matters the most is the satisfaction. All we do is to have satisfaction, isn't it? So students, it is the decision of the society to allocate these resources in the production of different goods and services that gives them the maximum satisfaction. So students, the society allocates these limited resources to gain maximum satisfaction. So how these resources are allocated? These resources are allocated in the production of different goods and services. So students, all the possible combinations of goods and services that can be produced with the limited resources and with the given state of technology, so all those possible combinations of goods and services are known as production possibility set, and this entire concept is known as production possibility frontier. Okay, so if I ask you, what do you mean by production possibility frontier, you can say that production possibility frontier refers to the idea through which people utilize or allocates the resources in the production of different combinations of goods and services. And these different combinations of goods and services are called production possibility set. So students, this particular concept can be illustrated with the help of a table and a diagram. So next, I'm going to show you how this concept of production possibility frontier or production possibility set can be illustrated with the help of examples, tabular and diagrammatic example. Okay. Well students, let us now try to understand the concept of production possibility frontier from a practical point of view. That means, let us try to apply this concept in a simple economy. Okay. So students, just assume that we are in a very simple economy where only two goods are available. One is corn and the other one is cotton. Okay. So we live in a very simple economy where only two types of commodities or two types of goods are available. One is corn and the other one is cotton. And students, we also have some limited resources with the help of which we can produce corn and cotton. So students, now what we will do as a rational consumer or as a wise person, what the society or the people in a society will do, they will utilize the resources in such a way that they can have different possible combinations of corn and cotton. So they will allocate the resources in such a way that will help them to produce different possible combinations of corn and cotton so that they can derive the maximum satisfaction. Okay. So students, production possibilities. So these are the various combinations or the possible combinations that a society can think of. These are just examples. You can have many more combinations. So to keep things simple, I have only assumed 5 combinations. Combination A, combination B, combination C, combination D and combination E. Okay. So students, in the first combination, that is combination A, the society will have 0 cords and 10 units of cotton. That means in the first combination, the society decides that they do not want corn, all they want is cotton. That means all the resources will be used or utilized in the production of only cotton. Okay. So this is the first combination. Okay. Then students, the second combination, combination B. Now the society thinks that this will not do. They will have to produce at least some units of corn. So what they will do? They will now produce 1 unit of corn. But students, since the resources are limited, in order to produce 1 unit of corn, they will have to reduce the production of cotton. Why? Because they have limited resources. That means whatever they have to produce, they will have to produce it within the capacity of the available resources, isn't it? So they will have to produce whatever the available resources will permit them. They cannot produce beyond the available resources, isn't it? So to produce 1 unit of corn, what they will do? They will have to reduce the production of cotton. So from 10, now they will produce 9 units of cotton. Alright. Next students, the third combination. So in the third combination, they might feel that they want some more units of corn. So now they decide that no, we do not want 1 unit, but we want 2 units of corn. But in order to produce 2 units of corn, they will have to reduce the production of cotton further, isn't it? So now they will reduce the production of cotton from 9 to 7. Okay. So you all can see, as the production of corn is increasing, the production of cotton is decreasing, because in order to produce more of one good, we have to reduce the quantity of the other good, because the resources in our hands are limited. So whatever we decide to produce, we have to produce it within the available capacity of the resources. So students, in the fourth combination, 1 extra unit of corn will be produced. That means from 2, they will now produce 3. So what will happen? The production of cotton will be reduced further. It will now become 4. So in the last combination, they are now having 4 units of corn but 0 units of cotton. So students, these two are the extreme situations, because in combination A, 0 corn is produced and all the resources are utilized in the production of cotton. But on the contrary, in the last combination, all the resources have been utilized in the production of only corn and 0 units of cotton has been produced. So in this way, a society thinks of various combinations of goods that they can produce by using the available resources. Okay, so this is a tabular representation of the concept of PPF, that is production possibility frontier. Let us now understand the diagrammatic representation of the same concept. That means we will represent this table in the form of a diagram. Alright. So students, this is a 2-dimensional curve. I think you all know. So on the horizontal axis, we take x. This is also known as x-axis, and the y-axis is known as the vertical axis. So we have 2 axes. This is a 2-dimensional plan. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So students, corn will be measured on the x-axis, okay, and cotton will be measured on the y-axis, okay. And it's not that all the time we have to measure cotton on the x-axis only. You can interchange it also, no problem. But I have taken corn on the x-axis on the horizontal axis and cotton on the vertical axis. Alright. So students, now I will plot the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You all can see here the maximum value is 10 and the minimum is 0. So I have started from 0 to 10. Okay. Similarly in the vertical axis also from 0 to 10. Alright. So now students, I will plot these values in this diagram, in this particular diagram. So in the first combination you see corn 0, cotton 10. So corn 0, cotton 10, cotton 10. So this is the first point. Okay. So how we will plot? We will first see what the values are. 0 units of corn and 10 units of cotton. So corn on the x-axis. So on the x-axis, where is 0? This is 0. Corresponding to 0 on the y-axis, this is 10. So this is the first possible combination. And then students, the second combination. Corn 1, cotton 9. So corn 1, cotton 9. So this is the possible combination. Similarly students, the third combination, corn 2, cotton 7. So corn 2, okay. So corresponding to 2 on the vertical axis, cotton is 7. So this is the point of the possible combination, okay. Then in the fourth combination students, corn 3, okay. So corn 3 corresponding to this 3, cotton 4 units. So this is the possible combination, fourth combination number D. So this is combination, okay. And then students, the last combination, corn 4 and cotton 0. So corn 4 and cotton 0. This 0 is common for both the x-axis and for the y-axis. Alright. So students, this is combination A, this is combination B, this is combination C, this is combination D, and this point is combination E. Alright. And students, when we join all these combinations through a line, it will give us a curve. The name of the curve is production possibility curve, that is PPC. In the short form, we can call it PPC. So students, the curve which is obtained with the help of production possibility frontier is known as production possibility curve. Alright. So students, production possibility curve is a downward sloping curve. It slopes downward from the top position, it has come to the bottom, isn't it? So it is a downward sloping curve from left to right. That means from this side it has gradually moved towards this side. That means what is the shape of the PPC curve? It is the downward sloping curve from left to right. Alright. So students, now we will write the explanation part. That means after drawing the table and the diagram, we need to explain the observations as well, isn't it? So let us now come to the explanation part. So students, this above table shows the different possible combinations of two commodities, corn and cotton, okay? So as you can see, when 0 units of corn is produced, 10 units of cotton are produced with the available resources. And as the production of corn goes on increasing, the units of cotton produced goes on decreasing. Why? Because of the limited resources. Okay? And then students, when we join all these possible combinations, these will give us one curve. The name of the curve is production possibility curve. Alright? And this last point students, all the points on the PPC, that means all these points, this point, there are numerous points, okay? So all these points on PPC indicates those combination of goods, production of which requires full utilization of resources. So students, let me explain you this thing, and then points inside PPC indicates underutilization of resources, and points above the PPC are unattainable because of the limited resources. So students, let me explain you this point in details. So all the points which lie exactly on the PPC curve, for example this point, and we can have multiple points here, just because we have not drawn them, but does not mean that we only have 5 possible combinations. There are numerous possible combinations. So all the points which lie exactly on the PPC curve represents those combinations of goods and services, the production of which will utilize all the resources. For example students, you have rupees 1000. So with that 1000 you want to buy rice and wheat. So there are 3 possible cases. So what you can do, you will buy rice and wheat worth rupees 1000. That means you will spend the entire 1000 rupees in the purchase of rice and wheat. So in that particular case, that particular combination will lie exactly on the PPC, because what you have done, you have fully utilized that 1000 rupees. Nothing is left, not a single penny is left. So this is the first case. Then students, the second case might be you have 1000 rupees and you have purchased rice and wheat, let's say of rupees 900. So what you have done, you have purchased rice and wheat, but some of the resources are left unutilized. That means you have not spent 100 rupees. 100 rupees was left unutilized. So that means that is also one type of combination which is attainable, which you can afford. It is not necessary that all the resources you have, you will always fully utilize it. Some of the resources might be kept for future use, isn't it? So all the combinations of goods in which the resources are not fully utilized or in which the resources are underutilized, such combinations lie inside the PPC curve, that is below the PPC curve. For example, if I draw a point here, so these will refer to all the combinations which are produced by using some of the resources, not all the resources. That means some of the resources are left unused. Similarly, I have drawn a point here. So any point which is below the PPC or inside the PPC represents underutilization of resources. But this is also attainable. Okay, this is affordable. And then students, the third case is, for example, you have 1000 rupees and you have purchased rice and wheat worth rupees 1200. Is it practically possible? No. It will be possible only when you will borrow rupees 200 from someone. Otherwise, it is not possible. With the available resources, that means with 1000 rupees, you can purchase goods up to a maximum of rupees 1000 rupees. You cannot purchase goods more than 1000 rupees. So those combinations in which the resources are not only utilized but you require more of resources, those are unattainable. So all the combinations which lie above the PPC are unattainable combinations. That means in these combinations which lie outside the PPC, you will require more of the resources, which is practically not possible because the resources are not only limited but they are also fixed, isn't it? So we have three types of cases. The first case, in all the points on the PPC indicates those combinations in which the resources are exactly utilized. That means the amount of resource that we have is fully utilized, nothing more or nothing less. And then the second case is all the combinations of goods in which the production of which requires lesser resources. That means some resources are left unutilized. So those points below the PPC or inside the PPC indicates those combinations. Okay. And then the third case, when we want more of resources, which is practically not possible. So that is why they are unattainable. So points on the PPC and inside the PPC are attainable, whereas the points outside the PPC are unattainable. Alright. So students, in this table, if you observe carefully, you will see that in order to produce more cotton, we have to sacrifice some units of, in order to produce more corn, we have to sacrifice some units of cotton. Without sacrificing cotton, we cannot think of producing more corn. Why? Because the resources are limited. So with 1000 rupees, if you want to buy more of rice, you will have to sacrifice some units of bread, isn't it? You cannot think of purchasing more rice and keeping the quantity of bread constant. No, that is not possible. So, because the resources are limited, in order to produce more of one good, you have to reduce the quantity of the other good. So students, the cost of having a little more of one good, for which some units of the other good are sacrificed, that cost is known as opportunity cost. Okay. So students, here you can see, in order to produce one extra unit of corn, 1 unit of cotton has been sacrificed, isn't it? So this 1 unit of cotton which has been sacrificed for producing 1 extra unit of corn, that sacrifice or that cost is known as opportunity cost. That means you have lost one opportunity of producing more cotton. Why? Because you wanted to produce more corn. So the sacrifice that is made in order to produce 1 extra unit of the other commodity, that is known as opportunity cost. Alright. So students, the example here is to have 1 extra unit of corn, just the example that I have given, to have 1 extra unit of corn, 1 unit of cotton has to be sacrificed. Okay, and why this happens? Because of the limited resources. Had the resources not been limited, we could have produced more and more of the goods that we wanted. There would have been no question of sacrificing anything. But because the resources are limited, we have to make a choice. To produce something more, we have to reduce the quantity of the other. Okay, so this is the concept of production possibility frontier. Okay, all right. So students, if you have any doubt, next we are going to have a Zoom session. There we can discuss or clarify all your doubts. Okay, thank you.